The sun is already blazing in the late morning as a vibrant melody of English and Swahili fills the air at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Helt and Park step out with light luggage under the snow-white canopies, squinting into the dazzling light of the Kenyan metropolis. While Helt moves with a determined expression straight toward a taxi, Park is completely overwhelmed, captivated by a world entirely unfamiliar and awe-inspiring to him.
Adrian, because of you, I'm now in this paradise. Whatever I can do here for you, just let me know.
After the two have been driving toward their hotel in the taxi for a short while, Park notices one of the popular Kenyan public transport vehicles on the roadside. With the eagerness of a curious child and his characteristic grin, he turns to Helt.
Let's take that colorful matatu over there back to the hotel, please.
Helt glances at Park with a piercing look for a brief moment. Then a faint hint of a smile takes over.
That's fine.
Helt responds. He instructs the taxi driver to pull over to the side of the road.
I'll make sure to remind you of the little favors I've done for you when the time comes.
A moment later, the two find themselves squeezed tightly together in one of the colorful vehicles where lively activity reigns. The interior is filled with local music, though it is almost drowned out by the chatter of the passengers. Park is thrilled by the new experiences and the people who casually try to draw the two into conversations in Kenyan English. While Helt remains reserved, Park practically bubbles over as he shares stories about his Korean homeland. At the reception of the luxuriously appointed Hemingway's Nairobi, a small, securely sealed package is waiting for Helt. The young hotel receptionist hands it to him with a friendly smile. With a curt, "Thank you," he takes the package and follows the impeccably dressed hotel staff member who carries their luggage to the room. When the two arrive in Helt's room, Park is left in awe. The hotel is glamorous by African standards, and the suite rivals the size of a small apartment in South Korea.
Adrian, would it be okay with you if I quit my job in South Korea and accompanied you on your missions in the future?
He asks him a little humbly, with a hint of irony. Helt smiles at him.
It's in your hands. If you prove useful to me here, I'll put in a good word with C, my boss.
Inside the package lies a Heckler & Koch P30 with a 20-round magazine as well as the following brief note. Meeting with Elijah Keter at the Talisman restaurant, 2 p.m. local time, approximately 3 kilometers from the hotel. You have been announced as Christoph Weingartner, your self-chosen companion as your IT consultant. He may keep his own name.
Let's go. We don't have much time to get you some proper clothes. Do you have a second pair of glasses you might need when standing in front of your future father-in-law?
Park nods very subtly with a slightly defiant look, but he quickly realizes that he must not jeopardize the mission. Helt leaves the Hemingway Hotel with Park, who appears in an entirely unfamiliar outfit, consisting of simple glasses, a brown suit, a white shirt, and a black tie. They board the ordered taxi, a yellow Toyota Corolla with a casually dressed driver in a white t-shirt. The taxi driver navigates the bustling streets of Nairobi with a certain routine and glances at Park, who looks visibly uncomfortable in his attire. Smiling, he asks, is this heading to a meal with a somber occasion? Has someone died?
Not yet.
We're here on business. In fact, this is our first visit to the Talisman restaurant. Do you think we made a good choice?
No worries. The restaurant leaves nothing to be desired. You can choose between international and African cuisine in an exceptionally elegant setting. This is definitely good for business, believe me. About 20 minutes later, they arrive at the restaurant. As Helt and Park step into the Talisman restaurant, they are immediately enveloped by an atmosphere of colonial charm and contemporary East African design. The intricately carved wooden pillars from Pakistan and the elegant Afghan rugs lend the space a warm, inviting touch. Keter is already standing at the table and waves them over. He is a charismatic businessman in his early 40s, of medium height, with an athletic build and striking facial features, including a chiseled jaw and piercing dark eyes. He is alone, and the table is already generously set with Kenyan dishes and wine. Keter takes a step toward Helt with a cool smile and extends his hand.
My name is Elijah Keter. Pleasure to meet you.
My name is Christoph Weingärtner. This is my IT consultant and constant companion for business meetings, Jinwoo Park.
As the three men dine together at the table, Keter begins to get a little closer, testing the waters.
Mr. Weingärtner, how is it that your company has surprised me with such an exceptionally favorable offer for the delivery of the production machines?
Your requirements are quite straightforward. You seek discretion, reliable and swift deliveries, but have no specific demands regarding the type, appearance, or technical details of the machines. This saves us a lot of time, money, and especially hassle when coordinating with your experts on site.
As you so aptly put it, it's all about money. In the end, money decides everything. What status I have, how high my reputation is, how many friends I have. Above all, power and money are things that attract beautiful women. Are you married, Weingärtner?
Divorced.
Buy yourself a new one. Pick the woman you like best. She will stay with you as long as you're rich and powerful. Anyone doing business with me doesn't need to worry about success, believe me.
Park interjects into the conversation with a furrowed brow.
Well, the girls I know tend to appreciate my humor and way of life rather than needing to be won over with money.
Keter smirks slightly and responds,
That's precisely why you're just an IT consultant and not my negotiation partner.
Park raises his right eyebrow defiantly and looks at Keter without saying a word. After the brief small talk, the conversation quickly shifts to its central topic, and Keter drops his superficially friendly tone.
We all have no time to waste. You were introduced to me as someone who doesn't ask too many questions as long as the deals are profitable, and that's a good thing. I am an entrepreneur and part of an international network specializing in robotics and artificial intelligence. Your task is simply to deliver the appropriate machines for implementation, as you already pointed out. Let me be honest, you are not the only player in the arena. If we are dissatisfied with the products or your discretion, we will terminate the business relationship abruptly.
Park appears slightly distracted, keeping both arms beneath the table and refraining from actively participating in the conversation.
Of course, you can count on our discretion and reliable delivery.
Good. Then I suggest that once you've satisfied your appetite, we head to a secure location to discuss the details. The competition never sleeps, and spies could be listening anywhere.
Helt looks at Keter with a slightly skeptical, thoughtful expression, but quickly agrees.
Agreed. Let's quickly get to the specifics of our business relationship because, as you said, none of us have time to waste.
The three men leave the restaurant after Keter leaves a very generous tip and make their way to Keter's car, a Range Rover autobiography in Santorini black, as one would expect from a wealthy Kenyan businessman.
I suggest that I take you to one of my warehouses to show you the production facility for the hydraulic systems.
The drive is eerie, taking them through deserted streets and remote areas. Park appears nervous, while Helt remains outwardly calm, but is internally on edge. As the three men enter the warehouse, Park's face reflects sheer fear. Contrary to expectations, the hall is quite small and has no windows. Only two rusty ceiling lights provide dim illumination. Keter leads them to a stack of steel structures that, with some imagination, resemble robotic arms. Suddenly, Keter turns to Helt and Park with an air of reckless composure.
Mr. Helt, you don't seriously believe that the organization I work for has failed to account for all contingencies and sources of danger, do you? Quite the opposite of the German intelligence service. We are thoroughly informed.
Held, with a serious expression, moves his hand subtly toward the heckler and coke hidden under his jacket. Keter continues.
Better not try that.
He gestures toward 4 shadowy figures with machine guns emerging from the darkness behind Helt and Park.
Volkov instructed me to eliminate the German problem.
Keter glances at his men.
Do it cleanly and leave no traces.
In a moment, when the Kenyan's focus is on Helt, who is slowly raising his arms, Park, driven by sheer terror, instinctively and swiftly reaches into his pocket and throws a small object into the air. It is a self-activating mini drone, which immediately detonates small explosive charges with deafening bangs, while simultaneously filling the room with a large radius of tiny golden confetti pieces. Helt seizes the moment of shock and reacts instantly. He draws his weapon and with 2 precise shots to the ceiling lights, plunges the room into complete darkness. In the pitch black, he grabs Park by the arm and pulls him toward the locked warehouse door. Seconds later, sporadic machine gun fire echoes through the space, followed by the sound of a heavy body hitting the ground after a scream, as Helt uses the muzzle flash of one of the machine guns to locate and sweep one of the attackers off his feet. Utilizing the cleared corridor, Helt and Park sprint toward the warehouse door for their lives, eventually making it outside and quickly into Keter's car. Helt, having keenly noticed Keter's characteristic overconfidence in leaving the electronic car key inside the vehicle, presses the start button of the high-powered car and drives with Park through the rough terrain toward the road. Keter and his armed men fire at the vehicle, but the gunfire quickly ceases as the bulletproof windows render their efforts futile.
Damn, this can probably be considered a complete failure of our mission in Kenya.
The now somewhat more relaxed Park immediately retorts.
Let's first wait and see what the data transfer via the forced Bluetooth connection to Keter's phone in the restaurant has yielded.
You sly fox. I had a feeling I'd find a way to make use of you.
No sooner has he said this than 4 equally high-powered black SUVs appear in the rearview mirror, taking up the chase.